Right. Do we want to start with the videos? Is that the plan?
I think the first video.
First video. Ginny. Okay. So just because you're all probably bewildered, wondering what on earth this is going to be, in 10 minutes we're going to try and persuade you to do something brave. Okay. And you have bits of paper on your table with Ginny, Valentine, Bravery Awards on them, so please grab one of those and we'll explain what it's for in a second. And to explain, we'll show you a short video.
I wanted to talk to you about the third Ginny Valentine Bravery Awards, which are taking place at the IIeX in June of 2014. This will be the third year that we've run the Bravery Awards, and it's a constant surprise to Fiona Blades and myself, who had the original idea, about how far the awards have come in the short time that they've been going. I wanted to tell you something about Ginny Valentine, who I used to bump into many, many years ago. She was a very capable researcher, but she decided that semiotics was something that the UK marketing community needed to take seriously, and she battled for 20 years until it was. And so therefore, very much against the odds, she just went out there year after year, and she sold semiotics to fairly sceptical people until it was accepted. In the first year that we ran the Research Liberation Front event, one of the activities that we ran was an open vote to find out who people thought was the greatest research revolutionary, and Ginny topped the poll on that. And even though by that stage she had already won many awards for papers she'd written, because she was brilliant and intellectually brilliant in the papers that she brought to the research category. But she always said to us that she was proudest of winning the Bravery Award, or rather the Revolutionary Award, for that. And so it seemed absolutely natural that when she died, and the year she did, that the year afterwards, that we should remember her bravery with this Bravery Award, which, is, as I said, has been going for 3 years.
Okay, so the context of this is there was a brilliant researcher. I was lucky enough to see her once berate the senior management of Unilever for their failure to understand normal human behaviour. And for that she was very proud. And what I probably ought to do is hand you over to Fiona to explain a little bit more about the context for this award.
Thank you, Alex. Well, as John said, when Ginny sadly died, Phil, her son, came to us and said, would it be possible for us to think of something that we could do to commemorate her work? And the one thing that we thought of when we were thinking about Ginny was that she was very brave, and she went out there and she fought for what she believed in. And it struck us that there wasn't any way of recognizing bravery in the industry. We recognize innovation, we look at return on investment, we look at new methodologies, but we don't really look at bravery. And bravery is something which we believe is important to driving the industry forward. So that was why we set the awards up. The really tricky bit, and this is why we need your help from everybody in the room, is it's quite hard to think of somebody or a team who's done something that's brave. So there are two ways that you can do this. One is that you can upload a submission onto a website, and we'll be tweeting and sending information about exactly what that website is. But the other, we thought we'd corner you today with these forms. So if you can think during this event, because you must be seeing some examples of bravery, if you could fill them in now, and give them either to myself or leave them at the registration, we will then upload them later, and then people can vote for the awards. But I thought the best way of illustrating how it feels to learn about some of these stories was just to read you a review by John Pulliston from GMI, who's a very brave guy himself. And he turned up to the very first event, which was just in a pub in London. And this, I think, conveys some of the emotion that he felt when he was there. So he said, "I had the honour to attend this week the Ginny Valentine Badge of Courage Awards organised by Fiona Blades and John Griffiths on behalf of the Research Liberation Front. And I wanted to pay tribute to the organisers and to all the winners. What a wonderful, moving event this was, and long may it live in the future. Very rarely, in a job like market research, can I say that I've been emotionally moved by something, or really felt such a strong sense of pride as I did at this award ceremony, which celebrated some of the less prominent heroes of market research." So I think that's important. It can be literally anybody, anyone from around the world, senior people, junior people, people that have just done something that we want to celebrate. It's an award ceremony set up specifically to celebrate those people in market research who had the courage to stick their necks out and do something different, to go against the flow, and who battled on through adversity to reach their goals. And then he talks about the highlights. And so I'm going to read these highlights because it might give you some ideas and inspiration of the kind of things that you could nominate. Simon Liddington, who nominated his own daughter Rosie for the efforts she put into establishing the Big Sofa Research Company. For 4 years, she took a sofa around the shopping centres of the country to conduct face-to-face interviews with the public before pulling in their first major piece of business. Betty Adamu's nomination from Ray Pointer for having the courage to put her money where her mouth was and set up her own research gaming company. And Alison White, who was actually brave enough to nominate herself. So you can nominate yourself. Please feel that you can do that. She explained the battle she had set up for her own research company. Her first attempt was stolen off her. Her second, the offices were burnt down twice. But the most astonishing tale of all was told by Finn Raben, who on behalf of SMR nominated an Afghan company, Orca, who had 2 researchers shot dead while collecting data, which puts all our own battles into perspective. And then he just finishes, "There were no black ties, no 3-course dinners and celebrity presenters at this event. Instead, homemade sandwiches and pay bar, but all the better for it. Ginny Valentine's son gave a wonderful eulogy to his mother, and it was lovely to see him handing out the awards in the end to the winners." So hopefully that gives you an idea of some of the different types of bravery that we're looking for. And please feel free to think creatively, think laterally, and come up with people who you feel maybe don't get recognised in this industry, but really should.
And to make that work even better, we thought we'd bring up someone who's actually a winner of the awards so that you could hear her talk a little bit about her story. So go ahead.
Should we have a look at the nomination?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Finn, yeah.
Hello everyone, it's a great pleasure to be here again this year, putting forward our nomination for the Ginny Valentine Badge of Courage Award. One of the great social benefits of market research is that it gives consumers a voice. But oftentimes, getting to that voice represents a major challenge, requiring not only courage, but perseverance, and in many cases, creativity. Our nomination this year faced a series of extreme challenges due to historical legacy conditions of social inequality, an awful lot of violence in the country, inefficient transportation mechanisms, and a very poor communications infrastructure. In addition, whilst the interviewers that conducted the project faced what in their country was considered normal daily challenges and threats of things like landslides, washed out roads, poorly marked houses, and indeed a quite significant level of hesitancy on the part of respondents to answer the questions that they wished to pose to them. In addition, their movements were constantly being shadowed by guerrilla forces, and on a daily basis, they were under threat of kidnapping. This particular project was to conduct 7,000 interviews nationally throughout 68 small towns across Colombia to obtain those citizens' impressions of the state of the nation and indeed the presence of the military and how that affected their daily lives. A case study of the project was actually presented at Congress a couple of months back in Atlanta in the US to an ovation, it has to be said, from the audience. So this year, our nomination for the Ginny Valentine Badge of Courage Award goes to Catalina Mejia and the Jan Haas team in Colombia. Here's a small snippet from that presentation for you.
Okay, hello to everyone. Thank you. I am very glad of being here to share with you this challenging case study, which I hope is going to be inspiring to all of you as market researchers. Let's begin.
Colombia, from December 2010 to December 2011. Planadas, South Tolima, place where the FARC was founded in 1964. The work team receives pressure from an unidentified individual, thus limiting the work schedule from 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Chaparral, South Tolima, presence of the 21st Front of the FARC. The surveyors were followed by the same individual and 2 more men who listened in to their phone calls. 3 of our 5 surveyors abandoned and returned to their cities of residence. Rio Blanco, South Tolima, with presence of the 21st FARC Front. In this municipality, surveyors were held for 18 hours inside a house in town. They are interrogated and labeled as informants. The kidnappers kept 4 poles, endangering the people surveyed, since these poles contained not only contact information, name, phone number, and address, but also their answers about the armed groups on subjects such as favorability, perception, and opinions.
So, thank you for listening. I sincerely hope that Catalina and her team gets your votes, and I hope you have a fantastic time at the rest of the event. See you soon. Thanks a million.
Great, Jill. Yeah.
Bueno, y Fiona me pidió que les contara o que les diera mi testimonio de lo que fue la experiencia de participar en el Ginny Valentine Badge of Courage Award. Pues la primera sorprendida con la nominación fui yo. Yo realmente no sabía que los premios existían. Nosotros hicimos una presentación en el Congreso de SOMAR de un estudio de opinión pública que hicimos para las fuerzas militares en Colombia. Y sin duda, cuando uno ve el video y ve de qué se trató nuestra presentación, pues sí es algo que necesita coraje, sí es algo que necesita ser valiente para realizar una investigación de este tipo, no particularmente yo, pero particularmente todo el equipo de campo que participó en el estudio. Y lo que realmente me parece valioso de todo este tema es que no es valentía solamente en este sentido, donde es evidente que hubo valentía de por medio, sino que Fiona resaltaba valentía en diferentes instancias para realizar investigación de mercados. Valentía para implementar nuevas metodologías, valentía para desafiar la forma en que los clientes cuestionan la investigación, el tipo de investigación que nosotros hacemos. En fin, digamos que la invitación acá, como lo señalaba Fiona, es a que ustedes piensen en diferentes tipos de valentía y de coraje que se necesita para ser investigadores de mercados, más aún en un entorno donde hoy cada día tenemos más retos por delante, más medios para hacer investigación, nuevas formas para realizarlo y donde realmente sí necesitamos ver cómo vamos a usar todas esas herramientas que tenemos disponibles para lograr hacer investigación de una manera innovadora, para desafiarnos a nosotros mismos, para poderles dar cada día insights mejores a nuestros clientes. Y otra de las cosas que a mí me impactó cuando llegué a ver los premios es que había premios de diferente tipo y de diferentes, puntos de vista. No era solamente investigadores, era también desde la perspectiva del cliente, donde hubo premios de diferente tipo. Hubo un cliente que proponía que las investigaciones de mercado se pagaran en función del ROI que le generan a los clientes, por ejemplo, y eso fue uno de los premios que se dio. Entonces hay un sinnúmero de ideas alrededor de los premios que me parece que es válido rescatar. Es interesante ver que estemos reconociendo de una forma diferente lo que hacemos como investigadores de mercados, y pues la invitación es a todos a que se animen a postular ideas para premiar el coraje y la valentía de los investigadores de mercados, que sin duda hay mucho en el trabajo que realizamos.
So the bravest thing you can do is take one of those forms, think of someone you think is trying to do something brave in market research. As you've heard from both Fiona and Catalina, that bravery can take many forms. So think as widely as you can, and please complete the forms or look out for their website online, and I'll hand you back to Patricia.
Bueno, antes de que thank you very much, guys. Congratulations, Catalina.